Thokozani, welcome to the classroom. I am Gogo Noma and this is Learning with Noma, your home of comprehensive learning and healing. We are changing our lives one lesson at a time. In this classroom, we believe that a lesson learned should be a lesson shared. In today's lesson, I am talking about dream journaling or reflective journaling. All right, so there's lessons that I've made beforehand about dreams, where there's definition of dreams and also why do we forget our dreams. And this is the reason why I'm doing dream journaling today, because one of the tips that I've given on the reasons why we forget our dreams and what we should do is at the top of the list, dream journaling, which is something that I advocate for a lot in the practice. Journaling of our dreams, journaling of everything, your visions, the conversations that you have with spirits, and we're going to get into that in just a bit. So dream journaling. Let me go back by just redefining or just recapping on the lesson. Please click on the link below. You will find the links to the lessons that I'm talking about. The first one being defining the dreams, that is part 1 of dreams. Part 2 of dreams being why do we forget our dreams, and then part 3 being this one of reflective journaling that you are watching. So yeah, you can just go and watch those lessons once you are done here. But to just recap and say, how do I define dreams in the practice, remembering that everything in this classroom is from my own lived experiences and the way that I practice and do many. It is by no way the only truth, but it is part of the truth. So you take what resonates with you, and if you have a different story to share, by all means leave the story in the comment section below. I love learning from you, and I love exploring other discoveries of spirit or other teachings that spirit has put through. So reflective journaling or dream journaling. Firstly, what are dreams? Dreams are messages from God and our ancestors, messages that come while we are asleep, messages that come through the subconscious mind while the conscious mind is resting. And these messages we then remember when the conscious mind becomes awake, because even if the body is sleeping, what we know is that spirit does not sleep. So you sort of like take a journey, and the journey can be from the past, where you then dream of things that have occurred in your past, and spirit is just trying to remind you what you've been through so that you can face whatever that you are facing right now or in the future or the near future to come. The other messages can be about the present moment, where you are being reminded that we are with you, we see you, and we are supporting you. The other messages can be about the future, where you are then shown things that are still to come, and when they happen, you then look like, oh, but I've seen this. It came to you as some sort of a recognition, where a pre-recognition, where you then see that I've seen this before, and we talk about the deja vu moments. That is what dreams about. They are messages from the spirit realm to us about the past, the present, or the future, remembering that in spirit there is no there is no time. Everything is linear, and when it happens in the moment, it's about what's happening in the moment that is important, or it's about the message that needs to be carried in this moment that is important. Many people would ask to say, Gogo, I don't dream. Others say, I forget my dreams. Firstly, spirit does not only communicate through dreams. There are many ways in which spirit communicates. One, it can be visions, where you actually see something. For an example, you're just watching TV, but then you sort of like have your own moment and you see something totally outside of what the TV or the program on TV is playing. Other times, just sitting, you close your eyes and you're not in deep sleep, but you start having this vision of things happening. That could be the way that your ancestors want to talk to you. Other times, it doesn't even have to be in visions or dreams, but it can be through conversation with others, where you go back and reflect at home about conversations that you had during the day with others, or even by hearing voices. And we will talk about all those in due time. Today, we are going to concentrate on dreams and the importance of journaling your dreams. So why do we need to write our dreams down? Like I said, if you need to learn more about dreams, you can please just check the other lessons. Why do we need to journal our dreams? Journaling is important. Writing things down is important. And throughout history, we have been taught to believe that our ancestors were not really record-keeping people. But if you go to the caves, you will find that on the walls, there's writings or pictures that have been drawn on the walls to capture or to record whatever that was happening in that moment. So journaling or writing has always been important, even to us as Black people. Yes, it might have not been done in writing in terms of words, but pictures and other means were used, where you will find that on bones, on walls, or even on little shells, things were being recorded. The importance of journaling or writing down is that you are giving yourself a chance to actually reflect back and attentively so on what you saw on and what has happened. The best time for you to journal is immediately after the dream, or immediately as you wake up, as soon as you wake up. So your dream journal, the best place to keep it is next to your bed. As soon as you wake up from a dream, you then take your journal and you start writing down what you remember. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be logical. You just need to write down whatever that you remember. And then when you wake up now in the morning, let's say for an example, you have a dream, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's still fresh, you remember it, then you just take your journal and you start jotting down all the things that you remember. Like I say, it doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to really make sense at that time. Then when you wake up in the morning, you're going to read what you have written, or you're going to take a moment. Let's say you write it in the morning, you go and shower. When you come back, you read what you have written, and then you will see it's going to trigger for some of the finer details that you missed in the first writing to come back, and then you can just jot everything down until you can really have a flowing dream or a message that you understand. What are the most important thing for you to take note of when you are journaling? Firstly, you will need to pay attention to everything that happened in the dream. Where were you? Did you know where you were? And this is in the dream. You might not know when you're awake, but in the dream, you start first with everything that was happening within the dream context itself. You might not have seen anyone, but did you feel like someone was there with you? And if someone was there, was it one person, two people? Did you feel that it was female or male? And also your feelings and emotions that you carried during the happenings of the dream, whether you were scared, whether you were relaxed, whether you were anxious, or whether you just didn't feel anything at all and everything was just normal. That's okay. You will just write that feelings were normal. And the other thing that you will need to then look at is, what were you doing with everything that was happening in the dream? Were you part of? Was it being done to you? Or were you just watching everything that was happening? And these are just some of the tips to say, when you tell a dream to an interpreter, those are the questions that you will then be asked, because they are very important when it comes to dream interpretation. The other thing is that as you journal your dream, like I say, you don't need to limit yourself. Whether you're writing 5 pages, whether you're writing 2 sentences, if the dream is that you're going to write exactly what you reflect. You can write in your mother tongue. It doesn't have to be in English. You can even write in different languages. At the end of the day, it is your journal, and you keep it and you write in your journal. It's like your sacred space. Nobody has to direct you on what language, how, the format. Everything is totally up to you. You're going to do what works for you. And once you have written your dream down, like I said, then you go back and you read it. And you don't just read it once, but you read it and you adjust where you need to adjust. You take a break, you read it again. So maybe in one day you can read it 4 times or even 5 times if needs be, until you understand exactly, or you have that logic of, I have done, or I've put all the finer details being the colors that you saw, the, like I said, the person that was with you, you knew them or you didn't know them. And then when you are now coming to you as a person outside of the dream, you then reflect back on, how did you feel when you woke up? What feelings did you hold? Sometimes you wake up and you're still feeling relaxed, but when now you start thinking about it and saying, I had a dream about snakes, that's when you then start being scared. And you feel that I'm scared because I know I am scared of snakes, not because I was scared in the dream. So you will start reflecting back on those things. Some people say, I dreamt of being in water, and when you wake up you're cold, or even you're clammy, and you feel like really I was in water, because you're sweating and you're clammy and you feeling cold. So you will write all those finer details down, and that then will be important when you come and tell Gogo Noma as an interpreter your dream, and it will make my dream interpretation a bit easier. The other thing is, if you are jotting down your dream, or if you're journaling your dream, it also encourages the communication between you and your ancestors. It's sort of like an acknowledgement of what you're seeing, and it is that I am taking my dreams as an important part of me. Later in the month, later in the week, later in the years to come, you will then go back to the dream journal, because you will be reminded. Some dreams, remember, they repeat themselves over and over. Others, you dream them 2 years later and it's a message 2 years back, and it's a message that's only going to come 2 years later. So 2 years later, when the happening comes, you can always reflect back and say, but I did have a dream about this. The importance of dream journaling is to keep a record of your dreams, is to acknowledge the communication to your ancestors. It's seen as a gesture of acknowledgement of the communication to your ancestors. It helps you to then see patterns in your dreams and see what kind of messages are your ancestors coming through. And it also helps you also to easily interpret your own dreams, because once you see that every time I dream of a new baby, then it means that a new beginning is coming into my life. The first time I got a job, the second time I moved to a new place, the third time I got a new relationship. So you start also seeing patterns of what does it mean specifically for you when your ancestors come and communicate in a certain way. Dream journaling is very important. It helps us to better communicate with our ancestors, because even in the same dream journal, you write your own feelings. Like I say, you will say how you felt in the dream, and you will say how you felt afterwards. I hope that you found this lesson insightful, and I hope that you will start keeping a dream journal. But lucky you for being here. In the description below, I have gone to the trouble of compiling a dream journal. So there is a link to a downloadable dream journal. It is free. So you click on the link and you will download a dream journal, where you will get guidance on how to sort of like, it's just a template that will give you a little bit of guidance on how to jot your dreams. Very soon there will be a sale for the dream journal that will be more detailed, and it will also include a few tips on how you can interpret your dreams, or what common interpretations of dreams are. I am Gogo Noma. Thank you for being with me. Do not forget to click the description and download your free dream journal. Do not forget to like the lesson, subscribe to the channel if you found the lesson insightful, and visit me on my other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're doing a lot of dream interpretation, and my lives are done on TikTok, and I can't wait to see you in all other platforms. When you get into the classroom, do not forget to follow, do not forget to subscribe. I am forever grateful for your support, and I show gratitude all the time. I'm humbled always, a Badimu child forever. I am Gogo Noma. This is Learning with Noma, your home of comprehensive learning and healing. Until next time, Thokozani Royals.